This program is brought to you by the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC.
This is NDDC Today.
Hello, good evening. Things are getting to such a head now in this program that I don't think I can cope alone anymore. So I have solicited the support of my good old friend, Adobe.
Good evening, viewers. And Patrick is really nice.
It's a long time.
Oh, really?
You haven't changed much. And Niger Delta has changed.
I want to believe so.
I'm sure you'll be watching from the side.
Yes, I have.
Good.
And I see a lot of things going on,
Yes.
a lot of projects, but I remember too well when we started years back.
Yes, yes.
And I'm wondering what happened to all those beautiful projects. I hope they're still on.
They're still there. You remember, first of all, the first electricity in Nukwa.
Yes!
It was great. And
then I remember one, they had the eye surgery, the free eye surgery treatment.
Yes.
Oh my God. A lot of people came and they got treated. I'm like, you mean some diseases could be treated?
Just like up the cough. They were like doing like 10 operations a day.
In a day. And I remember
and all that
the doctors
stuff,
were exhausted.
Yes, yes.
And then our crew members sometimes will go home and everybody's like, we're washed out, but we hung in there.
You have not forgotten much.
How can I forget?
Right. Okay, Adobe will be with us for a while, because quite honestly, we had to relive some of these magic moments we had on NDDC Today, and we hope that it will keep you watching, and we can keep on informing you about what is going on, particularly this week, when the Commission has just finished organizing a workshop for thorough investigation into how things can be done better in the NDDC and how budgets can be properly, more thoroughly applied. They just finished the session in New York, and in this program, we'll bring you details of that and more. Thank you for joining us.
Stay tuned.
So on this program, a lot of things have happened in the NDDC the last 1 week, foremost of which was the Commission's top management workshop on collaborating, planning, and re-strategizing for a better Niger Delta. That workshop was immediately followed by a 2-day retreat, which focused on effective budget, preparation, implementation, and monitoring strategies. Both events were held recently in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State.
As part of efforts to deepen the ongoing consultations with internal stakeholders and enhance the speedy development of the Niger Delta region, the NDDC held a 3-day strategic capacity building workshop and retreat for directors of the Commission last week in Akwa Ibom State. In attendance were prominent dignitaries of the region, which included the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, the Chairman, Senate Committee on the NDDC, Senator Peter Nwoboshi, as well as the Chairman, House Committee on the NDDC, Honorable Olubumi Tunjiojo, among others. Speaking during the opening ceremony, the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, declared that efforts of the Niger Delta Development Commission to restore collaboration among stakeholders in the region will help in fashioning a common roadmap for the development of the Niger Delta region. Senator Akpabio said the retreat was a family meeting called to rub minds and find ways to help the Commission fulfill the vision to offer a lasting solution to the socio-economic difficulties of the Niger Delta region, and said the theme of the retreat, namely collaborating, planning and re-strategizing for a better Niger Delta region, was very apt. The minister called attention to the Niger Delta Regional Development Master Plan, which was activated in 2005 but expired in 2020, saying there should be discussions of renewing the plan with policies of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals incorporated in the new plan. He further said that it would be healthy for the NDDC to consider adopting some or all of the 10 principles of the UN Global Compact for carrying out its business.
To fast-track the delivery of this mandate, the Ministry will set up a joint committee with the NDDC to chart the next phase of that action. We must have one regional master plan for the Niger Delta region. One, and not different plans. If we have different plans, it will not work. So we are going to harmonize that. It will be healthy for the Commission to consider adopting some or all of the 10 principles of the UN Global Compact for carrying out business.
We are here today
in his opening remark, the NDDC Interim Administrator, Mr. Effiong Akwa, said the retreat was in furtherance of ongoing consultations with internal stakeholders of the NDDC to distill commonalities. Akwa called on all stakeholders of the NDDC and the Niger Delta to join hands and work with the Commission to create a common way forward for the benefit of the people of the Niger Delta.
I am urging all of you, all of us stakeholders of NDDC and the Niger Delta region and Nigeria at large, to please come let us reason together. Come let us work together. Come let us strategize together. Let us think together and let us work together. At the end of the day, we will have achieved a common goal that will be of immense benefit to the entire people of the Niger Delta region and to the entire people of Nigeria.
In his remark, the chairman, Senate Committee on NDDC, Senator Peter Nwoboshi, said that there was need for all stakeholders in the Niger Delta to work together to ensure the region moves forward. He commended the NDDC Interim Administrator for realizing the need for cooperation between the National Assembly and the Commission, adding that the National Assembly had in the past assisted the NDDC to get the oil and gas companies to meet their statutory obligations to the Commission.
We had to engage the gas companies. They were very reluctant to pay. And so we have to put our heads together. The executive, that is led by the MD, and the National Assembly. We have to engage leadership of the National Assembly. And what did we do? We decided to amend the law. And when we amended the law, the gas companies have no option but to start paying. That is why the gas companies are paying today.
Speaking in a similar vein, the chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Niger Delta, Honorable Olubumi Tunjiojo, said the cordial relationship between the House of Representatives and the NDDC had facilitated some progress in amending the NDDC Act. Also in Uyo, the NDDC held a 2-day strategic capacity building workshop and retreat for directors of the Commission. Speaking at the occasion, the interim administrator of the Commission, Mr. Effiong Akwa, said the workshop, which focused on effective budget preparation, implementation and monitoring strategies, was meant to help the NDDC fine-tune its budget processes and position the Commission to begin to do things differently. Akwa underlined the need for the NDDC to effect some changes in its processes from time to time, pointing out that the Niger Delta Regional Development Master Plan, which expired last year, would soon be reviewed to give the Commission a new direction and focus. The NDDC boss said one of the areas where the Commission was about to effect changes was in its Foreign Postgraduate Scholarship Program, noting that in the light of the prevailing circumstances where most nations of the world were struggling to survive the coronavirus pandemic, it was necessary to redirect attention to Nigerian universities.
The next thing we want to face is the foreign scholarship, the scholarship program. We have decided, in the committee, that of what use is it to pay $30,000 to a single student to go to UK and sit down from morning till maybe afternoon, be playing computer games, and only to take 1 or 2 hours online lecture, which you could have taken in Uyo or Port Harcourt, anywhere. It's of no use, and then you waste money that could have sustained a whole lot, maybe 10 students for one person. That we will rather look back and look at some of the universities that have already started talking with some of the major consultants. For instance, in Port Harcourt has potentials. Uniport has potentials in engineering. You can say Faculty of Engineering, maybe you can raise the status to a college level. They will do engineering. NDDC will go and sponsor every facility in that engineering faculty so that your students can take engineering, master's degree, PhD there free.
In his presentation, an expert in budget and public finance management, Dr. Greg Ezilo, whose topic was fiscal transparency, parliamentary oversight, and budget monitoring and tracking, underlined the importance of frequent meetings with stakeholders and having an effective collaboration with them. Ezilo said the government must commit itself to ensuring that fiscal transparency was not in doubt by ensuring that legal frameworks and institutional capacities were strengthened.
I think it's a timely workshop that we have just gone through, and certainly I'm sure it is going to improve on our budgeting system so that there will be more deliverables to the communities of the Niger Delta region.
All the activities of the NDDC in the past week showing that effective management practice is crucial to every organization, and to an agency like the NDDC, it is expected that every of its delivery processes and tools must help to align the Commission's operations.
Also during the week, members of the traditional rulers of oil minerals producing communities of Niger Delta, TROMCOM, held a one-day workshop in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State capital, where they lauded the NDDC for its stakeholders' engagement. The meeting of the traditional rulers, which also featured civil society groups, members of Host Communities Organization of Nigeria, HostCom, also discussed issues relating to budgeting matters in the NDDC as it affects the development of the Niger Delta.
Traditional rulers from the Niger Delta region have applauded the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) for building the capacity of stakeholders and engaging them in the budgetary processes aimed at developing Nigeria's oil-rich region. The monarchs, under the aegis of traditional rulers of oil mineral producing communities of Nigeria, TROMCOM, bared their minds during a one-day capacity building workshop involving traditional rulers, civil society organizations, and leaders of youth groups in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Speaking at the workshop, the national president of TROMCOM and the paramount ruler of Ibeno, Obong Ifyong Achanga, stressed the need to carry stakeholders along in budget preparation and monitoring. Achanga posited that the NDDC Project Monitoring Committee should include traditional rulers in their activities in going forward, because most of the projects were done in their various domains. He further stated that the traditional rulers should be consulted when projects are to be executed in their areas. The royal father advised that in future, NDDC budgets should focus on youth employment and not just empowerment, so as to create a better future for the teeming youth graduates in the region.
The NDDC future budget should focus on youth employment, not being empowerment, so as to create a better future for our teeming graduates youths in the area.
Also speaking at the occasion, the chairman of the Abia State Traditional Rulers Council, Eze Joseph Nwabeke, harped on the need for the NDDC to continually engage stakeholders at the local level in order to get their buy-in and ensure that they participated in monitoring the Commission's projects in their areas.
I implore them to make it a point of duty at the inception of any job or contract. Let them make the contractors know that there are stakeholders within the area, the locality where they're going to operate. So that will help the stakeholders checkmate them, know whether what they're doing, and making sure that the contract will come out as really planned by the government and by the NDDC.
In his remarks, the national president of the Host Communities Organization in Nigeria, HOSCOM, Dr. Benjamin Tamiarerebi, commended the NDDC for organizing the stakeholders' engagement, stating that it was fundamental to have such discussions regularly. He remarked that such meetings were long overdue and that oil producing communities deserved special attention from interventionist agencies such as the NDDC to ensure the sustainable development of the long neglected Niger Delta region.
Every kingdom there is a structure, and there should be interfacing. We will be interrelating to the agencies.
In his presentation, an expert in budget and public finance management, Dr. Greg Ezelo, gave details of budgetary concepts, principles, and techniques. His presentation was based on the theme, Effective Budget Preparation, Implementation, and Monitoring Strategies. He said that the only government some people in the rural communities of the Niger Delta know is the NDDC, because it provides roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, and other critical infrastructure for them. Dr. Ezielo said that budgeting was a tool for planning and controlling the nation's resources, noting that a good budget would essentially provide the right information, fiscal transparency, as well as demonstrate accountability and transparency. He harped on the importance of accommodating stakeholders' needs through effective participation in the budget process, stating that it was key to achieving synergy between all parties. The NDDC Director of Planning, Mr. Davis Okarevo, said that it was the vision of the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, and the NDDC Interim Administrator, Mr. Effiong Akwa, to bring stakeholders together to be part of budgeting processes of the Commission. He expressed appreciation to the key stakeholders that they had shown interest in collaborating with the NDDC in the challenging task of fast-tracking the development of the Niger Delta region.
The traditional rulers of the Niger Delta communities playing their roles as the first custodians of oil communities in the Niger Delta, and on how best they can help the NDDC to move forward. Earlier in Uyo, before the kickoff of the management retreat, the Commission's Project Inspection Pre-Commissioning Committee inspected 4 projects of the Commission in the state to ascertain their different levels of completion.
The interim administrator of the NDDC, Mr. Effiong Akwa, in January this year, inaugurated a project inspection and pre-commissioning committee, which is saddled with the responsibility of inspecting the Commission's completed projects across the Niger Delta region for the purpose of commissioning and handing over to beneficiary communities. The committee kicked off its assignment last month with the inspection of some completed projects in River State. Akwa Ibom played host to the committee last week as the team arrived at the state to inspect some NDDC completed projects awaiting commissioning. The first site visited is the Internal Road and Mini Bridge project in Asating Ibiono in Ibiono local government area. The people here are predominantly farmers who before now had challenges transporting their farm produce to urban cities for better deals as a result of bad access roads. Residents of Asating community expressed their feelings about the NDDC road and bridge projects that have turned their fortunes around for good.
Before now, we are unable to trace to the main road. The road was not motorable. So in just some years back, they came in, they commenced the construction. We want to thank God for the contractors that handles the job. They did a nice job.
Everything we can now move whatever we produce in the hinterland to the market. we can now get to wherever we want, because you know we can trek from here and get to the express road. Before it was not possible.
The story is not any different in Ifarikot Okonetoi Uyo, where the NDDC team inspected emergency repairs of Idim Ikok Street roads and environs, which have enhanced the mobility of goods and services by farmers and other road users. This project has also improved the safety of entire road users and encouraged the springing up of new housing projects in the community. The road has also mitigated the problem of flooding experienced in the past by the community. Still in Uyo, the committee inspected the emergency repairs carried out on the once failed and unmotorable sections of Atakpa Street Road, which is now fully completed and has improved the well-being and living standards of the people of Afarikot Okpon community. From Atakpa, the team moved to the Shelter Afrique Estate, where residents of Iboro Johnny Street, Shelter Afrique Estate Uyo, have also benefited from the emergency repairs of failed and unmotorable roads. This road serves as a major access to schools and churches, among other public facilities in the estate. According to residents, the roads have enhanced the security of the estate by providing ease of access and movement of law enforcement agents and other security operatives in the area, as well as improved economic and social activities within the estate community.
The last time that I came here, when I started working here, the road was so rough, and it was very difficult for a truck and a vehicle to enter. But I thank God now, the road is very clear and everybody has seen it without being told.
I'm very, very happy because formerly this wasn't how the route was. It was roughed, and now it's okay for us to apply, even to take someone across from Shelter to Afaratai. So we are normally using here, you can see AKK passing. That is the route we use to far. Sometimes we link to Noate.
The NDDC interventions in Akwa Ibom State are multifaceted and also include the construction and renovation of facilities in educational institutions. Here, in Mbo local government area, the project team inspected the massive renovation work carried out by the Commission in Mbo Comprehensive Grammar School. The project included the construction and furnishing of a block of 6 classrooms, construction of principals and teachers' quarters, all fully furnished for the comfort of the residents. The new classrooms have enhanced the academic performance of the students of Mbo Grammar School, as attested by the Vice Principal of the school. According to him, before the NDDC intervention, the students did not have a conducive learning environment because there were no desks and tables and the roofs leaked over their heads. This made learning uninteresting for the students.
Today we are right now in Ebugu Comprehensive Grammar Secondary School, where you've seen the massive intervention the NDDC has done, beginning from the principal's quarters, fully furnished, the vice principals, and this is a long 6 classroom block, fully fitted. I believe from the testimony of the school vice principal, he has impacted positively already on the learning environment of this school.
Projects completed by the Niger Delta Development Commission will no longer be left to rot away. The interim administrator, Effiong Akwa, says henceforth the Commission will emphasize the completion and commissioning of regional projects.
Now, Delta State ranks as the second largest producer of oil among the big 4 oil-producing states of the Niger Delta, in that order of reference. The state stands at an advantageous position to have a lot of the NDDC presence in that state, where recently our team went there to verify and brought back this report.
The construction of roads in the Niger Delta region is no small feat, as the terrain and topography of the entire landscape calls for serious attention from the state governments in the region and other agencies like the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, whose business includes trying to connect every village, town and city in the region with a good network of roads. Good roads make a crucial contribution to economic development and growth, and also bring important social benefits to the benefiting communities. It is in the light of these benefits that the NDDC has finished construction work on 4 roads, namely Akpojewuge Road, Doyagbe Lane, Alfred Jonah School Road, and Omoire Ojigwo Road in Sapele Town in Sapele Local Government Area of Delta State. The roads have a length of 4 kilometers with a width of 7.3 meters and come with a 5-kilometer long drain with 30 meters of culvert. The work carried out on these roads includes clearing, excavation of unsuitable soil with the replacement of suitable soil, sand filling to formation, stone bays, line drains and slabs, and laying of asphalt on the roads. The condition of these roads before now had caused unusual vehicular congestion and flooding that occurred in the area whenever it rained.
I've been in this town since 1968, and in the recent 1 or 2 years, the road network in Sapele is so fantastic, especially this area. Before, you cannot pass through here. You can even see the Serenity is swampy area. Not only here, all around the Shell Road area is fantastic.
And who says joy has left the minds and hearts of Niger Delta residents in spite of all the difficulties being faced. Local communities there enjoying some of the projects of the NDDC. We hope they'll continue to do so in the next couple of weeks. And as the management gets into place, the plan with all the ideas they're getting from all these seminars, we hope that all that begin to create some impact soon in the Niger Delta for everyone to see. Thank you for joining us. And on that note,
it really felt good to be back on this set. From me, it's goodbye.